announced that Luigi Mangione, the defendant, is charged with 1 count of murder in the first degree and 2 counts of murder in the second degree, including 1 count of murder in the second degree as an act of terrorism for the brazen, targeted, and premeditated shooting of Brian Thompson, who, as you know, was the CEO of United Healthcare.
In the nearly 2 weeks since Mr. Thompson's killing, we have seen a shocking and appalling celebration of cold-blooded murder. Social media has erupted with praise for this cowardly attack. People ghoulishly plastered posters threatening the other CEOs with an X over Mr. Thompson's picture, as though he was some sort of a sick trophy.
Luigi Mangione has now been indicted on murder charges here in New York. Murder in the first degree, 1 count, 2 counts of murder in the second degree, 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon, another 4 counts with regard to criminal possession of a weapon in the third degree, 2 other counts on criminal possession of a weapon. What happens now, we will be hearing from Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg at 3:30, scheduled to hold a press conference along with NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch. And with this indictment now handed up, Governor Kathy Hochul's office says as soon as she receives that, she would put forward the formal request for extradition of Mangione from Pennsylvania to New York. It is called a governor's warrant. That is the formal request that needs to be filed. And at this point, the hearing for that is going to be held on Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. in Pennsylvania. Again, Luigi Mangione now being charged with 1 count of first-degree murder and 2 counts of second-degree murder, along with weapons charges in the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
So we have some breaking news regarding Luigi Mangione. A grand jury has just indicted him in New York on first-degree murder. Now, for Luigi, this is both good news and bad news, and let me explain why. So up until now, Luigi's been charged with second-degree murder, and the reason for that is because of the way New York does things, the hierarchy. First degree is typically reserved for people who take the lives of judges, first responders, police officers, terrorists, hitmen, things like that. And second degree is pretty much for every other type of murder that they have there. Now, the bad news for Luigi is that first-degree murder carries a much harsher sentence, right? Now, New York does not have the death penalty, so he doesn't have to worry about that, but he could worry about life without parole. Now, the good news for him, though, is that the standards to prove first-degree murder are much more difficult and a lot easier for a lawyer to argue against. Now, as far as extradition goes, we are still waiting to hear about that. He does have court in Pennsylvania today, so we are watching that, and as soon as I have an update for that, of course, I'll come back and let you guys know what's going on there. However, make sure to hit that follow button so you don't miss any of these critical updates. Spread the word around and drop your thoughts about this upgraded murder charge in the comments. Would love to know what you guys have to think. I want to come on and give you guys another quick update in regard to Luigi. He is now facing an 11-count indictment, including murder in the first degree and 2 charges of murder in the second degree. There are also smaller weapons charges and charges of forgery. Now, as far as the second-degree murder charge goes, they're doing that because of a crime of terrorism, is what they said according to the indictment. As I said in a previous video, a charge of first-degree murder in New York is very rare because there is a very narrow and specific list of aggravating circumstances that you have to meet, and apparently the one they are going for Luigi is terrorism. I also said in a previous video, it's a lot harder to satisfy the standard for a first-degree murder charge, which is going to give his attorney the upper hand in trying to argue against it. Now, Luigi still is due in court today in Pennsylvania, where they're going to try to determine things like bail and extradition. So as soon as we have that update, of course, I'll be back on to let you guys know. But again, this is both good news and bad news for Luigi. But at the same time, the penalties are much, much higher. Now, as always, hit the follow button so you don't miss any of these crucial and critical updates. Spread the word and drop your thoughts in the comments because I always love to know what you guys have to think about these kind of things, especially with this charge being upgraded.
It's Tuesday night and the ruling class has pissed everyone off today. First up, New York released the charges against Luigi Mangione today. Murder in the first, 2 counts of murder in the second, and a terrorism charge. New York City is using a law that was passed after 9/11 to hit Luigi Mangione with a terrorism charge. Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan District Attorney, is justifying terrorism charges because he says, and I'm paraphrasing, that Luigi Mangione killed the CEO of United Healthcare in an attempt to start a class riot. And he is using the fact that these wanted posters with the faces of other CEOs started popping up around Manhattan. He is also citing social media posts in which the public empathized with the shooter and talked about their failings with United Healthcare. So because other people not connected to the shooting shared their stories and it scared the C-suite, Luigi Mangione's getting hit with a terrorism charge. And in I feel personally terrorized by Nancy Pelosi's actions lately, AOC lost her race to Jerry Connolly to be the top-ranking Democrat on the Oversight Committee. If the world was fair, AOC would have won this leadership spot. Jamie Raskin holds the seat right now. Passing the torch to AOC made perfect sense. But no, Nancy Pelosi from her hospital bed was whipping votes for 74-year-old throat cancer patient, Representative Jerry Connolly. And he won. And this is me telling Hunter Biden AOC lost. Real fever dream of a day.
So I just got off of the live stream, or I just saw an article that says that Luigi Mangione is going to be charged with first-degree murder. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just giving a social take, right? To actively charge him with that, to actively not give him the typical white boy treatment, especially because he didn't shoot up a school, and we all know those are acts of terrorism more than what he did, is to actively acknowledge that there is a fundamental problem, but you aren't going to do shit about it, right? Because in that alleged manifesto that y'all all read, right, we all read it, it says that I wanted to build something that was even more insane. But you know what? I'm a 3D print a weapon that got a silencer, and I'm a handle business. And he did. But I just want to remind you that the government isn't our friends. Granted, yes, he took somebody's life. We can acknowledge that. But we're not asking the why, right? Like, there's only been a few politicians, AOC and whomever else, that have spoke about why he did what he did. The news has turned it into trying to sway us into some bullshit thought of why he's a bad person and yada, yada, yada. But let this be a reminder, right? Let this be a reminder that your blue cities are not these safe havens either. Because to be in New York and to be in a city that generates the amount of money it does, and for there to be problems with housing, equality, rent stabilization, all of these different things, we actively just decide where we put our money to sit there and let somebody to let that white dude kill Jordan Neely on that train and then let him off, and then to see him in a sports pimp suite with Donald Trump, JD Vance, and Elon Musk. I don't know. That shit is crazy. That is fucking insane. Giving him a terrorism charge is nuts.
Luigi Mangione has officially been charged with murder as an act of terrorism in the shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. What's crazy to me is that when these same CEOs have their feet on our neck, denying our claims, passing policies that harm working class individuals, it's seen as good business practices. It's seen as him being a good businessman, guarding against unnecessary care. But when people have finally had enough of a system that continues to put its feet on our neck, we're terrorists. 41% of young people think that Luigi Mangione was justified in his shooting. And you know why? Because they've probably had very terrible experiences with the health insurance industry. When people get their claims denied, it's not a matter of, oh, let me go find some money to pay for it. It's a matter of they can't afford it. Okay, so what happens? They skip care, and skipping that care turns into a problem that is even more intense, and sometimes people die. Like, I don't think y'all are getting this, but maybe y'all are, and I'm preaching to the choir. But this person has been charged as a terrorist for shooting a CEO. Well, somebody think of the poor CEOs. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. When someone shoots a CEO, it's terrorism. When CEOs take advantage of us and exploit us, it's good business practices. And this is the country that we live in.
Well, earlier today, Fansha Luigi Mangione was indicted. He is facing 11 counts, including 1 count of first-degree murder and 2 counts of second-degree murder. He is also facing terrorism charges. Terrorism. They're trying to get this man on fucking terrorism. Manhattan District Attorney said that this was a frightening, well-planned, thought-out unaliving that was meant to cause attention, shock, and intimidation. He's also claiming that because it happened in one of the busiest parts of the city, that it threatens the safety of residents and tourists. All I have to say to the district attorney, and let me hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this, you will not J-Lo gaslight me right now. First of all, did y'all not tell us that he decided against a bomb because he didn't want to hurt innocent people? Oh, second of all, if they were so intimidated, and let me add a second napkin when I say this, why did they continue with the meeting, clean out that man's desk swiftly, and post his job on Indeed an hour after he was pew-pewed? Be so fucking for real. So yeah, go ahead and call this a J-Lo concert ticket, because Y'all say it with me. I'm not buying it. They're trying to make an example out of fine shit. They see people's eyes opening, they see class consciousness, and they're like, absolutely not, we cannot have that. If we're being real, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news because everyone's like, oh my god, class consciousness, yay. They don't even really have to do all this for real because class consciousness will end where racism and misogyny begin. Don't jump me. I know you're not ready for that conversation yet, so I will end it there. Peace and love. Talk to you later.
Did New York drop all charges against Luigi Mangione? This is the question we need to ask now. We can also see a motion to transfer prisoners, so now the problem really arises. Through the court system in New York City, we can see that there is no record of any charges against Luigi's case. In Pennsylvania, there is actually an order approving the motion to transfer prisoners. But the question is, did they catch the wrong person? This is a question that everyone is asking. Now, when you see this, you may ask, there must have been accusations a few days ago, right? Yes. This is actually the details of the case, including charges of intentional murder, charges of carrying firearms, and charges of these mufflers. But now there's nothing on the case list. According to the New York police, they found Luigi's fingerprints on a water bottle near the Manhattan shooting scene, but initially the police said the fingerprints at the scene were dirty and could not be fully extracted. There are more and more mysteries about this matter, and I hope we can get some answers soon.
Hey, so if Luigi unalived a poor guy in the middle of New York City in Manhattan at 6 in the morning, would he still be charged with terrorism? I'm just saying. That's kind of crazy. Like, you charging an old boy with terrorism because he unalived a millionaire?
Luigi Mangione's now been indicted, and we're talking terrorism, a crime historically prescribed and reserved for people that look like me. First-degree murder, terrorism-related, second-degree murder as a crime of terrorism, and multiple weapon possession charges and possession of a forged instrument. First-degree murder with a terrorism enhancement means that it's life without chance of parole in New York. The terrorism angle that they're alleging is that the murder involved a political aim. This is like one of the few times you're ever going to call a white man a terrorist, a non-Muslim, non-Middle Eastern, non-South Asian man a terrorist. This is what they're willing to do to protect wealth in America. Apply that label to even a white man.
I'm quite sure, according to our legal definitions of terrorism, that Luigi Mangione's, crime, I guess, if you want to call it, is, could qualify as a crime that can be, that warrants an indictment of terrorism. Whatever I keep saying, though, is that I don't know why I guess we can call them the ruling class, keeps digging a hole deeper and deeper, because you could have most likely got this man up out of here with a few counts of the M-word, right? You could have just got him up out of here. But then when you make sure you stick that second-degree act of terrorism on him, what it then does open, I guess, the Pandora's box of a lot of people who may start saying, wait, he unalived one man. Why is that one an act of terrorism? Then those people start opening, then the Pandora's box is open and say, oh, well, terrorism is based on committing this crime on the basis of trying to change ideology or political change or cause political change. Then most people start saying, well, what's that political change? Then we start having more conversations about health insurance. So my question to our law enforcement and court system is this one worth it? Because at every angle, you're just going to keep this guy in the news cycle. And the cause, right, that he committed that crime for, is just going to be at the forefront. And every single day, more news comes out. There's going to be another American that goes, wait a minute, why did he do that? Oh, what? And then you're going to keep trying to convince us that there's no room for anything like that. And it's really disgusting. And most Americans will keep saying, no, wait, let me hear him out. Right? Keep overplaying your hand. I just don't get it.
Luigi Mangione has officially been charged with murder. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, let me update you. There's a lot to this one. I'm not going to get into 100% of the details in this video. This is just going to be an update of what's going on and what's happening to him right now. But I do plan on making a full-length YouTube video on this situation. So before I start, and you guys do want to follow along, be sure to go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's literally just my name, same on TikTok. So like I said, Luigi Mangione has officially been charged with the murder of the United Health CEO. He is currently in Pennsylvania, which is extremely far away from where the crime scene happened. Luigi Mangione was just formally charged in Pennsylvania with second-degree murder, possession of an unlicensed firearm, providing false identification to the police, and forgery. Luigi Mangione ended up writing down his mindset and motivation for this, or it seems that way. They also found the firearm that could have potentially been the one that was used during the murder. There's a lot of really weird things that are going on and revolving around Luigi Mangione. A lot of people, including his friends, have talked about how he's just randomly disappeared before any of this has even happened. They were also saying that he was acting weird and didn't really seem himself. So like I said before, I will be creating a video on YouTube about this. So if you are interested, let me know. It will be out within the next couple days. Like I said also before, I am going to be posting my Nurse Hannah video. It's going to be my first long form YouTube video in quite a while, to be honest. So if you like the content that you see here, be sure to go check out my YouTube because I do the same thing there. But as usual, if there's anything else that comes out about this, which I'm sure there will be, drop a comment that you want to see more videos like this, and also follow me so you never miss a video like this. But for right now, peace out. Deuces, motherfuckers. Have a good one.
Hello, you guys. Well, we are back with our Luigi saga. Okay. You guys, this is going to spill into 2025, our Luigi saga. But in the meantime, let's handle our business. Okay. So as you guys know, on December 4th of 2024 at 6:45 a.m., CEO, Chief of United Healthcare CEO, he was shot 3 times by Luigi Mangione. Okay, we got that. That was established. So now it came out that this man is indicted on 11 counts of murder, second-degree murder, and an act of terrorism. Yo, you guys, what? Terrorism? Terrorism for what? Because he was a rich guy? How is that fair? If that Brian Thompson guy wasn't a CEO, rich, 10 million, net, whoop, okay? And he was just one of us, would he be charged with terrorism? No. Isn't a serial killer charged with terrorism? No. Because there's plenty of people in this world who tortured cops, killed cops, did this, did that, and was never charged with terrorism. This is injustice to me. But hey, I mean, these rich folks really want him put away. Okay? And I just think this is ridiculous. If they have the fingerprints, if they have everything they found on Luigi Mangione, if they know everything this man did, the ins and outs and blah, blah, why isn't he just put away and this is not made as a circus? Right? What are they trying to do? What are they trying to prove? Right? Are they trying to prolong this? Okay. So they will say, okay, well, we already tried the one copycat. So let's put this out there and so everybody can see so they won't do this. You guys, in my humble opinion, this is just my humble opinion, like they say, if they had this already, why are they making it a media circus for this man to be dragged like this all over social media? Right? And then he hired a high profile lawyer, which he can because he's rich too, right? But this, they just, in my opinion, they should give I know this is going to sound crazy for some of you, and I know I'm going to get some backlash for saying this. They should at least give Mangione at least 30 years. Is that crazy enough? Okay, is that crazy enough? I think they should take away the terrorism charge because he didn't shoot up a school. He didn't do a 9/11. He didn't go somewhere and do a massacre. He did it. He just shot one person. Okay. It, they, I heard somewhere that New York dropped the charges. I don't know. I read that, but I don't think that's true. If they're trying to get him on this terrorism charge, these murder charge, these gun charges, you guys, a gun charge for using a 3D gun. That it's one of those old 3D guns that no longer exist. Okay, so he's been indicted on all of these. You guys, they're really want the rich to be protected. But what about the little guys? Do they get to be protected? No. No, no. No, we're not. It's all going to come down the pipeline. But another Luigi Mangione saga is coming before the end of the year. And I believe it because it's midday and I'm sorry, midday. You guys, my head is all over the place. It's in the middle of the month and we're still getting updates. Still. And this happened, what, 2 weeks ago? And we're still getting a bunch of updates. Okay. So, my lunch is here, you guys. So I'm going to get out of here. What do I know? I'm just a talking head. Have a great day, YouTube.